Hey guys, welcome back to the Movie Geek Production channel. My name is Fernando, and this is the type of video I've been wanting to make. Every October, I've been planning to make this video. It never happened. Now this year, this is it for me. This is it. I've been wanting to make this type of video. That's my showing my top 5 favorite Goosebumps episodes. Goosebumps is a show that I adore as a kid, watching on Cartoon Network on the reruns back in the early 2000s, 2004, 2005. Three, that 6, 5, that time period. Watching some episode that really frightened me, even though I did not know the show was kind of cheesy or just not great. And yes, the entirety of Goosebumps show, there's some hit and miss. Some episodes are really cheesy, some funny and hilarious. Some episodes are really darn good and really frightening stuff. And this is what the video is going to be, because I'm going to share my top 5 favorite episodes of Goosebumps. I could do top 10, but I don't want the video to be long because, as you know about me, I talk films extensively and they make the video long. So, whoopie doo. I do have a very small Goosebumps collection I would like to show you. Here are the DVDs. These are the compilations DVDs. Some episodes, random episodes here and there, and of course, I have the movies, the Jack Black movie, which I actually liked. Especially the first one. I really enjoyed the first one, but I also kind of enjoyed the sequel, Goosebumps 2. Goosebumps 2. So yeah, those are my. I have read the books, but I do not own the books. I read the book in school. So let's get right into it. Before we go to number 5, let's go to the honorable mentions. I got my phone with me, so the honorable mentions are Scarecrow Walks at Midnight, Calling All Creeps, Attack of Jack-O-Lantern, and Attack of the Mutant. So let's get into the top 5. My number 5, go to Night of the Living Dummy, number 2. Oh man, Slappy, what a character, that I just remember being freaked out as a kid. That characteristics of Slappy, that special expression that he has on his face, that design of the look of, I remember seeing the cover art from the book and seeing what Slappy looks like, and oh my gosh, there's a character right there. Obviously he's like paying home, not paying homage, like inspiration from Child's Play, a doll coming to life and coming to get ya. Instead of Chucky, the one who murdered people, Slappy is the one who tormented, kind of torturing kids in this show. And the kids, they're trying to tell the truth of their parents, but the parents does not believe the child. So trying to say, suffice to say that Night of the Living Dummy 2 is a great episode, and it's an episode that set the mood, what the Goosebumps truly is as a whole, and why we all know and love about Goosebumps because of Slappy or some familiar monsters that we all know and love. But Slappy is iconic. It's a main mascot in the Goosebumps that we all know. And when we think about Goosebumps, we think of Slappy right at the top of our heads because Slappy is iconic. But revisiting as an adult, it's just a fun, great, sometimes creepy, but like really great episode of just rooting for the main character, trying to prove that she is telling the truth, and just trying, we as an audience, like, Slappy, you evil being, love this episode. I really do. Number 4, go to Stay Out of the Basement. This is not a favorite among people, or it's not in the top 10. For me, I love this episode because it's about the self-discovery, what the kids are discovering in the basement, what this basement is. And I remember as a kid, there's moments I freaked out by it. Same to Night of the Living Dummy 2. This is a great episode, another great, probably underrated episode in my opinion, because not a lot of people talks about that particular episode. But it's another episode I revisit a lot. Every October when it's on Netflix. Goosebumps is available on Netflix, not the complete series on DVD. Hey, if you're watching this, please release Goosebumps in the complete series DVD or Blu-ray. That would be amazing. Anyways, off topic. It's just another great episode that the kids just go in and self-discover and being frightened by what they see. And it's just, you were with the character, trying to root for the characters, yet what we're seeing is what they're seeing. As a kid, we're seeing that aspect of it, There's a great practical effects. Really great. It's not one of the most well-known episode by any means, but it's a really great underrated episode that just kind of bring me to a big smile on my face and just remind me of how great the Goosebumps show is. My number 3 go to The Girl Who Cried in Monster. This man, oh man, oh man. So we got this young girl who go to the library, who was friends with a librarian, who is just a normal looking librarian. And it's one day she got something in the library. She go back to the library, and we just had an amazing discovery with who the librarian truly is, and that creature effect, that iconic makeup, the look of the creature is not only disgusting but scary. When I was watching this when I was a kid on TV, I was like, "What is this?" And the creature design. I don't want to spoil it for the people who know, but I'm gonna put the images, because we all know Goosebumps, right? We all grew up with it. But that imagery that this episode had to offer for is creepy and unsettling at times. That, oh my gosh. I mean, both Goosebumps and Child's Play, the movie, obviously both different things, but like, two of those are my introduction to horror genre, and Goosebumps set the stone for that for me. How to, one, face my fears, and two, be brave. What you see on the episode of Goosebumps, or any episode of Goosebumps. There's some cheesy episode, really fun, lighthearted episode of Goosebumps, but The Girl Who Cried a Monster is a very creepy, unsettling episode that I remember very vividly in my brain, still to this day. That imagery shown up on screen, just bam! What imagery that the main protagonist in the movie. Not in the movie. What I'm saying, in the episode, what she sees at it, and the reveal, the it's so great. The tension, the attention to detail, the editing is all perfect. Even though it's a really low budget show, but there's some really great stuff going on in practical effects. Makeup is just spot on and beautiful, yet so disgusting, and I love it for that. And that's what make the show so great, because this show has so many great practical effects. Yes, it's a low budget show, but you just have to applaud for that they're going that route of practical effects. Even though some practical effects or some special effects are outdated, but that's a charm for it. And The Girl Who Cried, wow, the episode is mouthful. The Girl Who Cried Monster is one of my absolute favorite, my top 3 for sure. That's why it's my number 3. I remember very vividly. It's very nostalgic, and I believe this was such stone for me to be not afraid of scary movies. Even though as a kid, I was a bit afraid of what scary movie like Freddy Krueger and all that. But A Girl Who Cried a Monster is a great episode. I love this episode so much. Yes, it's a really fast-paced episode too. That just flew by really quickly. That I didn't want to end. But and then the twist though, that I did not see that coming in when I was a kid. I'm like, oh wow. Let you know there's a twist in this episode. My number 2 is The Haunted Mask. I'm not going to include Haunted Mask 2, but I'm going to include the original The Haunted Mask, the first one. The one that started it all. And that was my introduction to Goosebumps. That was my first ever episode after I'd seen Goosebumps, and I became a fan of Goosebumps from there and on. The Haunted Mask is one of the most iconic stories and one of the most iconic episodes. There's a reason why this episode was split in 2 parts, because the story is so darn good. It's a character piece, really. Even though it's a kids show and it's a very low budget show, but it's a very heavy character piece, storyline about this girl who wanted to be scary in Halloween and trick or treat. She wanted to be dressed up really scary, and then she came across this iconic mask, this iconic design, the iconic look, the teeth, the shape of the head, the eyes, the color is so iconic and important that as Goosebumps fans, we all recognize how that mask look, and it's iconic for a reason. I would love to own it, but I don't think so. And I did read the book and to see what the difference between the episode and the show. And it's really spot on, to be honest. And It's a great story. It's a really tense story about this girl who tried to get rid of this mask and could not take off the mask because the mask is becoming onto her basically. It's basically like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation going on, dealing two personalities. One personality taking over the main lead of the story. Is so powerful. I mean, not in the sense of powerful, but it's really what I'm trying to say. So there's tension, there's suspense, there's really nail biting moments like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? Like I'm waiting for this character. It's just a great story that thankfully split up two parts to make it a wonderful big story. The introduction. The beginning of the show. There's an introduction by R. Stein. You already knew. Oh, we're in for a good episode when you have an introduction by R. Stein. Come on. And it's a great episode, very iconic, very well known. Also one of the episodes that I rewatched a ton. It had rewatchability values in that episode. Love the Haunted Mask. Part 1, Part 2 is, I consider, one big story. It is. I do like the second chapter of the Haunted Mask 2, which is a continuation to the Haunted Mask, the first one. But yeah, great episode. That's why it's my number 2. And my number 1, that is the Blob that ate everyone. You might be wondering why this episode over the other great episodes like Line the Living Dummy or The Haunted Mask, Part 1, Part 2. Well, there's a reason why I love this story. Yes, there's some cheesy moments. Some of the acting is not, they're kid actors. It's 90s. It's a great imaginative story about this kid who is a storyteller who loves to write, and he came across a typewriter and he started typing it, and all the things he writes are coming true. And then he created this character, the Blob, that ate everyone. And I love this episode. And all they have to do is trying to finish the story and complete the story and end the story by not making it any worse. Trying to get rid of this thing for even making even worse. I love this episode. This episode brings a lot of big smile on my face. It's just that creativity and imagination about this, just a kid who loved to write stories and just happened to have a typewriter which magically come true. Whenever he typed, things are coming true. Like for example, you type thunderstorm and a thunderstorm appears. And it's a very imaginative episode, but it's a really fun episode too. There's some really creepy moments, and that was the episode I had a crush on the main girl in the Blob that ate everyone episode. I'm like, who is this young lady? I was a kid. Remember, I was a kid. I didn't know the age difference. I was a dumb little kid. Anyways, but yeah, it's just a great story that. This is before I watched the Blob, the original The Blob, starring Steve McQueen. It's a great story. It's a great episode. It's one of my absolute favorites. I knew after we finished this episode, I knew it was my favorite. That's my favorite episode. My number 1, right there, the Blob that ate everyone. I love the story, and the practical effects on the Blob, is disgusting, and for a low budget, they did a really good job. Obviously, there's some moments that's very outdated, but what they did is obviously they executed really extremely well on that aspect. I love the characters, minus the acting. The acting, it is what it is, but it's a great story and a great episode that just made me smile. I'm smiling right now. I'm just thinking the scenes. It's a great episode. That's why I had the DVD. That I bought this DVD not seeing this episode, and I saw the episode for the first time. It blew me away, and I love it so much, and yeah. That's the Blob that everyone. That is why it's number 1. There you have it, guys. That is my top 5 favorite Goosebumps episode. I'm curious about your top 5 favorite Goosebumps episode, or do your top 10. Do whatever you want. Yeah, I'm hoping we're gonna get Goosebumps 3, the movie, because I would love to have that. Apparently we'll apparently be getting the remake show, I believe, on Disney Plus. I don't know about that, but we shall see. Yeah, this I have fun making this video. I've been wanting to make this video. Finally, it's happened. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, have a great day. Take care.